Okay. We have running back C.J. Donaldson. Questions for C.J., right?
So, CJ, start off with the start you guys had, and you particular, but just the offense as a whole. How important was it to get off to a fast and strong start?
It was important. Coach Brown talked about it all week. The weather is kind of going to be our edge this week. I'm from Miami, so I definitely, know my first shock when I got here, it was kind of like, oh, man, it get this cold? So he was just talking about, playing fast, playing with tempo, making those guys get tired early, get, the weather kind of, affects them. So we just stick to the tempo and tried our best to, punch it in as many times as we can.
Anthony Wilson was talking about kind of yapping at their players. Hey, there's not all trees here. Did you say anything? Plus being from Miami.
Yeah, I definitely know a couple of those guys. So when I was there last year, they was like, "Yeah, fool, you're not used to this no more." I'm like, "Hey, it is a little hot, but we definitely came out with the win." So I was kind of chirping at them today, like, "Yeah, this our territory. Like, y'all not used to this. Like, it's not, as Anthony said, not palm trees. It's it get kind of cold out here." So a couple of those guys were kind of chirping back at me, chirping back and forth. Just all friendly stuff though. Nothing too out of the ordinary though.
Getting out of the starting blocks in the first two series, you were just possessed. Just talk about your determination in that opening couple series.
Coach Scott always tell me, just use what God gave me, be a tough tackle, and I like to definitely shout out Letty Brown today. He told me, run a great pad level, have great eyes. That's all you got to do, to be an elite running back. Run a great pad level and have eyes. So I want to definitely give a shout out to Letty Brown today.
You mentioned that pad level, and Coach Brown was just up here talking earlier about kind of you learning, getting into the position a couple years, about your pad level, about how you need to run the ball, about how hard it can be to bring a guy your size down. Can you talk a little bit about kind of what you're picking up now that you're a couple years into your collegiate career, a couple years into playing running back, about just how you need to approach the position, how you need to run against these Big 12 opponents?
All right, Coach Scott and Coach Brown, they get on me every day, every week. CJ, you high, you're running the ball too high. You need to get your pads down. You're a tough tackle. When you're low, when you're high, you go feel everything. So, and also Drew, our general manager, he kind of set me down and went over a couple of Cowboys running backs and just showed me this is what's gonna get you to the next level, and this is what's going to help us win as a team. So that was just very important for me to understand I am a 240-pound running back who needs to be running behind his pads at all times. So that was just critical, and just me helping the team, get those third and shorts and those third and ones and stuff like that.
I feel like at least once a game I sit there and I think to myself, you're getting tackled, and I look away and I'm like, oh, he's going down this time. You're not going down. You got another 5 yards in you. What's it feel like when you're in that moment? They're trying to bring you down and you realize I got another 3 or 4 yards. They're not tackling me well enough to bring a guy my size down. What's that do for your confidence and your energy, and just how does it affect you continuing to run the ball, getting those extra yards, making those plays?
Well, Coach Scott always tell me, bleed yards. Get every yard. Every yard matters. Tonight, I was 4 yards short of 100 yards, so I probably need to bleed a little more. But, it just definitely gives you, that confidence of knowing, man, I could just keep running the ball harder. They can't tackle me, so just keep running it harder, keep running it harder. Eventually, I, get that big one. So it definitely brings a confident boost to the game.
CJ, with you and Jaheim, obviously this year, I feel like a lot of times you've been kind of the pound back, and he's been the bigger play back. Tonight you had a lot of big runs. What's that feeling like when you kind of get to break one and have a couple of those 20-plus yard runs?
Man, it felt great. I see a free hitter every now and then getting tackled by the linebackers a lot, but it was just great. Just kind of stealing Jaheim's game, and he was kind of stealing my game today. He definitely. I know y'all saw that run on that spin move, so we just we steal each other game and just try to we just natural competitors and try to make each other better. All week in practice, we just compete and kind of I wouldn't say go at each other next, but if he make a big play, I'm gonna make a big play. I make a big play, he gonna make a big play. So just with both of us in the room, we just kind of bring the best out of each other, at all times.
What's this team mean to get to bowl eligibility? And for you, you didn't get to play in last year's bowl game.
Yeah, it was definitely important. My first 2 years here, the first year we didn't make a bowl game. Last year I kind of watched the bowl game. Just having the opportunity to play in the postseason with those guys, and the Wyatt, Tomas, and Yates, and all the rest of the line. It's just just thankful to have another opportunity to play behind those guys. It was definitely important today to get that win.
And to build on that bowl eligibility, especially with it being a bit of an up and down year in the program, can you talk a little bit about, is there a little vindication or a little bit of, just happiness to kind of shed off some of the negative discourse and get that bowl eligibility at the very least. Like, you're going bowling and no one can take that away from you guys now.
Yeah, they go. It doesn't matter in any situation. They go say something if you do something right, if you do something wrong. So we try to keep everything in house, and we understand. Like last night, we watched the Gladiator, and it was important to realize that like everybody around the arena is just watching the fight, where we the ones inside the fight. So only thing that matters is what we got going on. If we happy, then we happy. Like that's the only thing that matters to us.
When you were shaken up at one point in the game, Coach Scott came out to you and was very supportive. What's the relationship like between you two, and what's he meant to you over your time here?
It's definitely important. That guy can bring a different animal out of me. He knows how to push my buttons, so in a good way, if that makes sense. Like he know how to get me ready for the game and get my mindset ready. So he was like, we still need, like he talked to me, we still need you, as you able to go. He definitely checks on me first, make sure I'm healthy and like in the right space, but he definitely can put me into like a different spot, to finish the game strong. So I appreciate that man a lot.
Speaking of you being shaken up and leaving the game for a brief moment, how do you feel now?
I feel great. I finished the game strong. I feel great.
CJ, is there any significance to starting the game on the first offensive series for you? You ran pretty well.
It's the same thing. It's just kind of like a game flow thing. They kind of made in-game adjustments late. They didn't have really good adjustments early on. So starting or not starting or being a second backup, the third back, it doesn't really matter. Just like the opportunity. I remember my first game, I was the third back, and I had a big play in the second quarter. So it just kind of give and go with the flow of the game and what the defense call and what we call. So it's like chess all the time. So whoever make the next best move. So it really doesn't matter.
Can you talk about the adjustments that you saw them make and how you countered that?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the game, they were kind of like too high shell. Then late, they started to be in an eight man box and having only 3 guys in coverage, and it was like kind of sending a lot of pressure. And we just made the adjustment of we're going to win the game. That's the only adjustment we made, just win the game. Like we're going to stick to our plan, still working, we still getting positive gain. We just got to strain a little harder and run the ball a little harder, get those extra yards to continue to get first downs, even touchdowns. So we just kind of like just pulled together and became as one to win the game.
It seems like over the past couple of years, this team does best when y'all are getting 150, 200 yards on the ground, really just ground and pound against the opponent. Is there something you think that you see from your position on the field that y'all's run game does to opponents that helps kind of slow down the other team or helps put the team in a better position to win the game?
The run game definitely dictates a lot. By them putting an 8-man box, we got an opportunity to stretch the ball down the field. I know Hudson, J-Rob, Rod, and all those receivers, they made great plays. Cole Taylor and all those guys, they made, great plays down the field. So the run game definitely opens up the pass game, letting those guys have opportunities to have one-on-ones, because they definitely explosive down there. Rod made an amazing catch in the back of the end zone, and then J-Rob on the 4th down, Huddy on the 4th down, those guys just, they just definitely help us too with, like, running the ball because they block downfield too. So it definitely helps us as an offense.
Okay, thank you, CJ. Thank you. Appreciate it.